Welcome back, guys. Today I am going to talk about hooked from the first second. So this is going to be about visual and text type hooks. We're going to spend the whole time kind of discussing that. I know I've touched on it a little bit here and there, but after today, you should have a lot better understanding of how to spot hooks in other videos that you're watching, and how to create them yourself. And you'll get so good at it eventually that um, you're just going to naturally start doing it. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Um, I'm going to give you some more in-depth knowledge about it. I'm going to show you some examples of it. We're going to make some together, go through a video together and do that as well. And all of this is to just really help you guys confidently create videos that aren't going to take you much time, because we don't have time and we want to use our time for the clients and not so much like we have to make the perfect video. You don't. It can be, we can keep it very simple, but if we get like these core fundamentals down, then it makes it a lot quicker, a lot easier, and gets you more client engagement. Um, so yeah, and this is going to attract more buyers, sellers, and anyone in our local area, which is again why it's important to, there's things that I always do, tagging location always, always, always is a lot more important than the hashtags at this point. And we've talked about all that, so I won't go over that again. But um, why hooks matter. What is a visual video hook? So a hook in general is something, just the way it sounds, like it's something to draw the audience in, get their attention. What's going to get people's attention that is different, not boring. I mean, if you see like just a listing photo or like something that says it's like a Canva made, just listed or just sold, what's the likelihood that you're going to just keep scrolling? If you're a viewer, you have to kind of think of it that way. You're likely just going to scroll right past that because you look like every other agent, just, you know, automating a post, and it's pretty generic and nobody wants to read it. It's just not interesting. We want people to get to know us and want to work with us because there's something different about us, and they start to feel like they really know us, and that's how you build the trust. So we're gonna do hooks. So there's a few different things with hooks. You can either do a hook visually, or you can do a hook in text. And a lot of times, most of the time, I try to put those two together, because the more things that you do, the trending sound, tagging your location, using a visual hook, using a text hook, the more that you use all of those elements together, the more likely it is that your video is going to get pushed. So a video hook, so a visual hook for videos would literally be anything where there's some sort of interesting movement. And even if you only have like a tripod, so like it's a static shot, no movement at all. I taught you last time how you can, zoom up on that and you can make it a slow zoom, but now you have movement, and now that's considered a visual hook. If people are scrolling and they come across your video and they're seeing the first second, like you have maybe a slow zoom. That's It's as simple as that. That is one example of a visual hook. Now you can get really dramatic with visual hooks. There's a lot of different examples I can show you. I'm going to show you some examples. Um, but let me bring up my TikTok. I've saved some to kind of show you um, a bunch of examples. That like is in my head. Okay, let's listen to this one. See if you guys can hear this.
5 visual hooks that no one is talking about. One, doing something like sipping, eating in the middle of your video. Number two, using a random object as a mic. This isn't even my mic. Number three is the sitting down hook. Kind of just makes the viewer kind of settle into the content. Or moving something out the way hook. And five is the green screen background. Audience can notice this. It just seems out of place, but it works. So here are 5 visual hooks.
Okay, now see also, okay, another thing that I just noticed that he did that's really great if you can work it in is he had obviously a hook all throughout his video, talking about hooks. How ironic is that? But also then the way that he ended it so when it started over, the end sounded like the start of the beginning. Does that make sense? So basically, he's created a loop. He's created a loop. Watch it again.
One, doing something like sipping, eating in the middle of your
So he's
video.
telling you about the
Number
hooks,
two,
and then at the
using
end here,
place, but it works. So here are
are
5 visual hooks.
5 visual hooks. We can do that with our videos too. It's just to kind of get it in your mind that, ooh, you know, you want to get them to watch your videos as long as possible, basically. So there's just so many different ways that you can creatively do that. And I'm going to give you a lot of ideas. And then that way you pick the ones that you're comfortable with. You pick the ones that like resonate with you, or like, you're like, I want to do that one. That's fun. I want to do that one. So it's really all up to you. I just kind of want to give you the ideas and tools to do that. So that's one. And then there's some more. This guy talks about hooks as well.
Use these 3 powerful hooks in your real estate videos to get more viewers. Number one, possibly the biggest fill in the blank, the biggest garage, the biggest master bedroom, possibly the biggest backyard you've ever seen. Gonna get somebody's attention. Number two, this could be the best fill in the blank in the city. Again, the best kitchen, the best backyard, the best view, whatever it is, people are going to want to watch to see what could possibly be the best. And number three, you won't believe this, fill in the blank. You won't believe the view of the sunset. You won't believe the view of the ocean. You won't believe this updated kitchen. You won't believe the fireplace in the shower. Okay, I've actually seen a fireplace in a shower. Pretty cool, and I still remember it to this day. You need to learn how to grab somebody's attention at the beginning of the video, like I did with this one, if you have any shot at getting them to watch your real estate stuff. Use these 3
And I'll say also, a lot of the videos I show you, a lot of the videos that I do as well, I usually always make sure I have text on the screen. A lot of people, maybe they're at work, they're still scrolling TikTok or whatever, but maybe they don't have the sound on because they're at work. So it's you get more viewers that way, people that can only like read the closed caption or the text on screen. Either way, it doesn't matter. There's two different ways you can do it. You could type it all out. I'm sure that he did it automated, but you can adjust the text and stuff when you do closed caption. But closed caption is always what I use. That way, if their sound is off, they can still read your video. Now, there's some videos that won't work as good that way, but like honestly, you can do that with most videos. And that's what I'm saying. Like that is also a hook. Like it's anything that makes a person want to watch longer. And people like to read things on the screen, and you have a visual with it, a video. People like that a lot. So that's a really good example. Have you used hooks in your videos before? Hey, it's Sierra. Um, have you tried to use hooks in any of your videos yet?
I think I've used it in one of the videos you and I did. Before that, I don't know if I've used them before. I think I may
Yeah.
have used it in one of my recent ones though, like how you can support a realtor.
Okay, let me see. Let me bring yours up. Let's see. Yeah, that was a photo post, right? Was that a photo post?
No, it was a reel. It was
Okay.
one of me slow walking with the phone to my ear.
Okay, I see it. Yeah. Okay, so I want you to see the beginning. Okay, immediately, yes, and you're right. She's doing a visual hook there. She's walking, actively walking. So don't like hit record and then start walking. You should already be walking. This is a great example of that. Already have motion and action when that record button is on. So and yeah, I mean you can clip it, obviously. I'm sure that's what Sierra did. But yeah, so she had a great visual hook, and then she also had a text hook with the text up there. So that's amazing. She gets A plus. That was good. Okay. And then I know, well, I'll bring that up later. I kind of want to go through I had a lot of fun. So guys, you can all do this. Anybody that's in the group, and I have that group on Instagram. If you're not in there, please ask about it. I share all of the newest tips, tricks, ideas in there between meetings. So it's a really good resource for you guys to take advantage of. But so like the past few days, well, past 24 hours, I guess, Sierra did a Q&A on her story, which is fantastic. It kind of just opens it up and makes people feel invited to ask us questions. You know, a lot of times people don't want to bother us, you know, they're like, she's busy, da da da. But if you give them a casual opportunity like that, you'll find that they're a lot more open to it. Now I know that I think uh, this might have been the first time that you did that on your real estate page. So it'll take time. It takes time to kind of build it up with people. But you will start to see people respond. I gave you a lot of responses, I know. Um, but what's great about that is that you could even, you know, go in there and answer your own questions. You can do Q&As, answer your own questions as many times as you want. That's what I did on hers. I think I responded and asked her, gosh, probably like 8 questions, maybe more, just to give her really some content, not only on her story, but she can reuse those videos and repost them as reels. What I would recommend is to, if you post them as reels, is to edit them, kind of edit out some of the ums and things like that. But they're just really great because people can really get to know us that way and get to know what we would be like to work with, which in turn is going to attract the people that we want to work with. So it's a really good thing for us to take advantage of. So yeah, so hooks boost watch time. So first of all, like people are going like this, and they're not going to really stop this until they find something that catches their attention. And maybe it is just somebody walking like that. And it's like, what? And then they're like, wait, what does that say? And then they want to read it because you put text on there. Now you've hooked them within that first very important 3 seconds. So, and when you do that, the algorithm pushes you out to more people because it assumes that people are staying to watch your video. So they're assuming that more people would like to watch your video. So you can see why it's a good idea to do that. It's going to get you more reach, which is obviously going to get you more leads and ultimately more clients. So what's great too is when you build your social media this way and you build trust with people, there it's so much easier than when you have like a cold lead or you're calling other types of leads, because these are already warmed up. These are people that have been watching your story for a long time or your Instagram page for a long time, and they already feel like they know you. So you don't have to be like, well, you should list with me, da da da. They already know that they want to list with you by the time they reach out to you, because you've already proven that you're somebody that they want to work with. So it's like, it's so amazing. It's so fantastic. So we should all want to do that, because it just makes everything so much easier. So anyways, so some examples that you could do, and these could be like talking head, or text on screen. So you could either use maybe just random videos of you walking, random videos of the town, whatever. But then your text would be, here's why your home isn't selling and how to fix it. Here, or like, here's how your home isn't selling and how you can fix it, or something like that. That's a good one. Are you thinking of buying in this market? Or, you know what? I think I could even improve this one. It says thinking of buying in this market, don't do it until you see this. But I think what might be even better hook for this would be, don't buy in this market until you see this. You know, I think that would be a stronger hook. And that's actually called like a negative hook. So you're telling them not to, you're telling them not to do something. So it's kind of like reverse influencing, but you're giving them they like that, you're giving them a value that it intrigues them. And so that's a good one. The shock or surprise hook. So you could say, I almost lost this one deal due to this mistake. Don't be afraid of things that you've messed up on, because that's exactly how we've learned how to do it better next time. So don't shy away from that. Here's another like shock surprise hook. You won't believe what this $350,000 home comes with. Something like that. Again, it can be a talking head. It could be something like you in front of a house type of thing, where you're walking towards the camera and you're saying, you won't believe what this $350,000 home comes with. That would be a good one. A curiosity hook you could use would be, this is what wrong price. This is what 500K gets you in Atlanta. Okay, you could say this is what 500,000 gets you in Atlanta versus Monroe, or whatever. Have a comparison thing. You could do the 3 biggest home selling myths you still believe. Okay, people like that kind of thing, and keep it short and sweet. If at all possible, a good video should be just maybe 15 seconds long, maybe at the most 30 seconds. You get any longer than that, it's just people's attention spans are pretty short. It'd have to be a really good reason for it to be very long. I try to keep them about 15 seconds as my sweet spot. And then if it makes sense, it's okay for 30 seconds, but any longer than that, I think you're gonna lose people. Okay, so you could do a countdown listicle hook. So you could do top 3 neighborhoods to watch this year. 5 things I wish every buyer knew before house hunting, stuff like that. Again, if you have problems like figuring out ideas, I'm like totally obsessed with ChatGPT now. Like, it helps us so much with everything. And so don't be afraid to ask it, hey, ChatGPT, can you make me a hook that I could say in my real estate video for it to be viral or whatever? And it'll give you, a list of, usually I feel like it usually gives you about 5 And you can kind of tweak it from there. But play around with it. It gives a lot of good ideas on there. You could also do a U focused hook. I do this a lot. Some of like the core things I keep in my mind for every video is, if at all possible, I like to say the word you in the first sentence. I like movement in the first 3 seconds. And I like text on screen. So those are some like fundamental things. If it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, like obviously don't, because if it doesn't make sense to be there, then nobody's going to watch it anyway. So, and that's the whole point. So if you're doing a you focused hook, it would be, for example, if you're a homeowner in Monroe, you need to hear this. Okay. If you're a homeowner in Covington, you need to hear this. Okay. That's a you hook. Before you list your home, do not skip this. Say something like that. These are really good, like talking head examples. Again, you could be walking when you're saying this, any kind of movement. Yeah. So, yes. So we talked about movement in the first 1 second. Pointing, walking, well, I like walking into frame. Like, so you could be sitting in frame like this, and you could be like, 10 things you want to know before you shop in coming, whatever. It's like you want to go ahead and start talking as you're doing the movement. That is your visual hook. You could flip a sign. So you could take something like this and, flip it around, show that that's a visual hook. Facial expressions. You could do a shocked face or whispering, come here, or a side glance. All of these are like, hooks. So you could I've done this one before, but you can go like, I'm going to tell you something that you didn't know about whatever. That's visually compelling because you're whispering and people naturally want to know what she's talking about, right? So that is a visual hook. Text on screen. So you could do this just hit the market, or selling in 2025, or watch this first, or maybe watch this before you do whatever. Again, I'm using a U hook. So it's like, you can kind of see how they all kind of work together. Transitions or cut scenes are really great if you know how to do them. And there's a lot of really simple ones I could show you. I had talked about last time because I tried to show Sierra one. There's more simple ones we could do. Like even I can show you right now. Like this is a transition. Like you could just do that at the camera, and as you pass over like this, as your hand like totally covers it up, you would stop recording, and then you would record again in like whatever, a different location. Maybe you went from outside of the house like into the kitchen. You would continue the movement, and then you would put that in CapCut, and you gotta time it and you just cut it together. If you want more in depth on how to do that, or you're like, what? You're like confused, let me know. Does that make sense to you, Sierra?
Yes.
Probably helpful too, because we kind of did that together. I mean, it's once you kind of do one, you kind of get the idea of like, okay, that's how I can do this other one. Like we kind of did it with the throwing the balls together, and just matching shots up where they'll line up nicely. And even the one we did with the jacket that didn't quite work out, because the jacket has to be laying the exact same way and like all that stuff. It's the same concept. You're just doing it in a different way. And this tends to be a lot easier for people doing it like that. It's a very simple transition. People like those. So, Yeah, so we've talked about Zooms you can do before and after clips. Yeah. You can use for sale signs, clipboards, or a laptop. One new thing that people are doing right now, it's kind of a trend. They'll like write something. You'll be able to like see, like, let's say this is the desk, you'd be able to see me writing something. And so that's a visual hook. Just people are like, what is she writing? You know? So you write it and then you flip it over to the camera and that's your video. So whatever it is, and that could be your whole video. So that video probably wouldn't be longer than probably 8 seconds, which would be a really good sweet spot actually. So you'll get more views on, like, the shorter the video is, honestly. So you want to typically, for what we use it for Reels or TikTok, you want to do it vertically. Now, if you're on, YouTube or something like that, they like it horizontal. And like I was telling Brittany with their videos too, like it's easier if you're going to put it on different platforms that need horizontal and vertical. It's much easier to clip it for vertical if you start out horizontal. But I don't work with that a lot, and a lot of times I'll just, because I'll film it separate. If I want it horizontal, I'll film it horizontal, and then I'll also do it vertically. But if you were more pressed on time and wanted to like use a horizontal like YouTube video for like a YouTube short or for a reel, you could take your video and resize it. Do you know how to do that on your phone? Hopefully they didn't take that feature away. I have a new phone now, so I'm like trying to figure out where everything is. But do you know how to resize a video on your phone? Trying to find a video I can use. Let's see. So let's say, I'm just going to take this one. I filmed it this morning, just I call it B-roll. I was just sitting there trying to look like I was doing the Zoom before we started. But say I want to resize that for a different platform. You would click, there's those 3 lines down at the bottom there. I want to click that. Oh, wow. There's some new stuff here. So you can crop it and stuff like that. I'm not going to do that. Actually, I think I want the 3 dots that are up at the top. I'm going to hit that. That's not what I do. They're going. Is it crop? It is. Okay. So, okay. So I was right. So it is the 3 lines at the bottom. Hit that. Go to crop. We're not going to crop it, but it's in crop that you can do it. And it's at the top here. It's got those little box looking things. It's not the one all the way over. It's the ones that look like the boxes, but you're going to click the box looking things. And then it gives you some choices. It says original. It's showing me the original was shot at 9:16, which is the format for TikTok and Reels and stuff like that. And then the other one here, it automatically formatted it for YouTube. And then you can move it. So see, that still works. So then I could just, I mean, it's easy as that. Then you just click done. And now you have a version that you can put on YouTube that YouTube will like. So that's a good thing to know if you didn't know how to do that before.
I kind of was in a signal.
Oh, yeah, no, you're fine. Well, you're gonna upload this later too, right?
Yes.
You can watch it later. Yeah, but it's not hard. It's really easy. If you're coming to the office today, I can show you too. But
Okay. So is it one where you can, like, if you like the videos that I posted on the story, could I make them into like the YouTube format? Is that how I'm
You
understanding?
can. Now, sometimes like Brittany kind of seen when she did one with Gina and she wanted to like make it into the YouTube format. It was kind of hard because it was two of them and they weren't sitting close together. So then when you tried to reformat it to YouTube, it like kind of cut them off a little bit. So if you're mindful in the beginning when you're filming and have it in your head, like I want to be able to format this later for a different platform or do horizontal, then you'll just have to keep that in mind how you are framing your shots. But yeah, did you save your videos that you made on your story? Like, did you like download them? Or did you just like click put on story and didn't? I think I lost her for a second.
I
What?
cut out.
Oh yeah. Well, I was asking,
So
yeah, did you save them from your story like to your phone?
yes, so I saved them whenever I recorded them. That way I could put them on Facebook. But also I didn't know this, and I don't know if you know this, but if you go to Instagram and click save and you click save story, it saves every single graphic. So I have the individual photos or videos, but I also have one entire video starting from the ask me a question
Mhm.
picture all the way to the last video.
Yep, yep. Yeah, I've done that before. Yep. And you can do that. Yes. Yeah, gosh, you have so much content now. Like you could schedule those out. You could clip those into videos and just like schedule those out. I don't know how many did you get anyone else ask you any questions or they might have just been entertained by my questions? But
I
I
think
was
people were just entertained by your questions because you were the only one that asked anything.
That's okay. They don't know. They don't know. I thought it was really good because I haven't seen you talk about stuff like that before, and it's just like such an easy way for them to kind of like because they're spying on us anyway, sort of, like they're watching us.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really great. Eventually you will get them, the more you do it, the more that they're gonna feel comfortable to do that. And but I use that trick all of the time. Anytime I make like a poll or a question, I'm always like most of the time I'm the one answering the first time just to get it going. But that was fun. Yes, definitely upload those. I was gonna go through that with you just to show you how I would cut that.
Yes.
Well, so I had to re-download it. Everything's weird now. New project. Okay, so I kind of screen recorded just to show as an example for other people as well. Oh shoot. Confirm. Allow. Okay. New project. Here we go. Oh no. Made me clip all these stuff. Okay. So, all right. Now I screen recorded, so just ignore that.
So, my craziest story probably would be
So we're gonna cut out the so.
my craziest.
And we want to start right there at my. And I'm gonna cut it as close as I can. You already have a visual hook here with Sierra walking. And then we also have a visual hook, which is the question and answer comment thing there. So we're gonna split it, click on that, delete it, and then continue.
My craziest story probably would be that I.
I'm gonna think.
Craziest story probably would be.
Okay, I'm gonna clip it actually right there because you had a lot of space you were thinking.
that I was showing a rent was showing
Wait, I'll see.
that I
I think I gotta clip it right there. I need the I.
I was showing a rental out in like Decatur area, showed up and the lockbox had been crowbarred open and the and crowbarred open.
Crowbar to open. I'm gonna split it right there.
The windows
And then right at the windows, I think.
had all been broken and the door was kicked in. And thankfully, my parents were with me. We were out doing something that day, and my father went in, and there were squatters in the home. There were kids, like food and all this kind of stuff in the basement. All the appliances had been ripped out of the wall, there was spray paint everywhere. The trash can was overflowing with food and dirty diapers and things like that. Sad situation, but probably my craziest story is to see a home online, show up, and it be something completely different in the situation.
You know what else you could do with this?
Completely different in the situation.
Okay, I'm gonna clip it right there. That's where you ended that one. And I just want to show you what we can kind of do to make it better. Sometimes like you have to think, what's the like most interesting part of the video? And let's put that at the beginning and then maybe go through the story. So I think maybe that last little part, I can move that to the front. Let me see.
Show up and it
See.
to probably my craziest.
So maybe right there. Probably your craziest story
Is to see a home online, show up, and it be something completely different.
Perfect. So I'm gonna take this, and if you hold your finger down on that last clip, now that we've clipped it, just drag it all the way to the front. And let's see how that works. I might have to clip a little bit more, but it'll just give you an idea of how it's gonna change the way this story sounds.
Probably my craziest story is to see a home online, show up, and it be something completely different. My craziest story.
Okay.
Probably.
So see, we've already said my craziest story, so I can actually delete that clip, the clip after that. And let me see.
Something completely different. I was showing a rental out in.
Okay, and then you went right into your story. So that's still pretty long. Let me see how that flows.
Probably my craziest story is to see a home online, show up, and it be something completely different. I was showing a rental out in like Decatur area, showed up, and the lockbox had been crowbarred open. The windows had all been broken, and the door was.
But see how much better that flows? So it's a nice story. People will probably want to talk in the comments. People will probably want to share their own stories, and in turn will push your video more. So that was a really good example. Okay. Usually if you can, when you record, you want to obviously have the best lighting that you can. Like I know you have the handheld little light thing. It's like this one. These are good. I kind of always like have mine in my purse. That way, if you think of something, like you always have good lighting. Most of the time, I will try to find a natural light source, as the natural light is always going to look best. And then I try to like face the sun. I know that's kind of hard because it's bright, but that is going to be your best lighting. So, and if you don't have that, or maybe you're in your car and the car is just not really obviously lit as well, use your light and yeah. So you want to film your 2-second hook, then follow with providing value. So storytelling is a really popular thing. So I think that if you did that a lot, I think you'd start seeing a lot more engagement with people. And then they're gonna go to your page and be like, oh, she's a real estate agent, you know? And then they've already decided that they like you. So, all right. So what is a 3-second hook that you could use this week? What I want you guys to do is film at least one video this week using a hook and post, which, I mean, guys, it's easy. I mean, when Sierra did the Q&A thing on her Instagram story, she was able to save the whole thing. And it was like a group of, you know, what was it, like 8 questions and answers. And so now that's 8 videos or so that she can post as a reel. So it's just kind of an easy, quick way to do content. That probably didn't take her very long. I'm pretty sure she was out by the pool when she was doing that. So it doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be anywhere special. Just use your visual hooks and yeah, so it's as simple as that. I do have a cheat sheet available for ideas for real estate hooks. I always keep those here. I always have cheat sheets for each lesson. If you want those emailed to you because you're not at the office very much, I can email those to you. Just let me know. Otherwise, I do have them at the office. Yeah. So on your most recent videos, we already talked about this. Did you include a hook? Or hopefully now this is going to make you start thinking of how you can use hooks, you know? Once you kind of get your mind there, it'll just start coming naturally. Should you always have a hook? What do you think the answer to that is? The answer is yes. Always have a hook. I don't care if it's a visual, if it's text, or what, but you should always, always, always have a hook. Otherwise, people aren't going to stick around to watch your video. And if you have all of the elements, then that's even better. So yeah. That's about all that I had. Did you guys have any questions or anything like that? Maybe, yeah, honestly, do you have any questions about like hooks specifically?
Have any? I kind of have a good idea on it. I just have to implement it.
Great. Share the idea with the class. What is it? What's your idea?
More so the idea of the concept. Always use something that catches that reader's attention, like you're talking to them,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
you're like poking at them or telling them what they can and can't do. That usually gets people's attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know like another like there's just so many different things you can do like visually to get people's attention. Like I was telling Brittany like one time I took a whole head of lettuce and I was like chomping on it. That's crazy. That's a crazy, crazy visual hook. Would I use it for real estate? Probably not. But it's just to give you an idea. Like even like this is a visual hook if I'm using this as a microphone, or maybe I'm using this as a microphone. You know, it's still a visual thing that people are like, what? You know? But yeah, I think text hooks are really good for real estate, and then any kind of movement I think is good. But yeah, um, I'm always watching everybody in our group. I'm always watching what you guys are posting. So far it looks really good what I'm seeing. And I say, keep it up. You're going to see results. Just keep doing it. Keep being consistent. That's pretty much the name of the game. So anyway, that's it for me today. If you guys are good, then I'll I'll see you next time. Next time's meeting I'm gonna do on mastering transitions. So we'll go a little bit deeper on how to make transitions. So you have that to look forward to. So go out there and make some content and get some clients, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Yes, ma'am. Bye.
Bye.